Good afternoon. It is another edition of Inside Zed Basketball. My name is Kasuli, and of course, remember that Inside Zed Basketball is powered by BMTV and Zambia Basketball Showcase. Not forgetting most of our supporters, people that and organizations that make sure that this program does what it does best, such as Skyline Car Dealers. All right, and today, this lovely afternoon, I do have none other than Martin Mchena, aka Sekuru. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Mr. Kasuli.
Great. I actually feel so good being in the presence of a champion, being in the presence of a national team coach. And wow, everything else that I can put on you and your philosophies and all that. But for somebody who doesn't know, we'll be getting into this very soon. But now let's talk about your success. How does it feel to be here after such a successful season?
Yeah, it's really incredible. I think I owe it to everyone who was involved, from players, administration, and the team cooks. This is our second gold.
Sure.
For the ladies and for the guys, we actually played really well, and the guys finished with a silver medal. Yes, we brought medals. We were on the podium all the way.
Great. And congratulations, of course, to the ladies. And not forgetting the guys for getting silver as well. All right. Now, Coach, let's get into your season. Did you actually think that it would unfold like this?
This has been a blessed season for me. Even after taking up Unza Pacers, from them being demoted and coming to the to the league and winning 28 out of 30 games. And I think everything has been pointing in that direction.
Sure.
And with the ladies, we haven't lost a university championship. So I think everything has been pointing the same to winning. Yeah, it's the culture that we have actually adopted and we are pushing for.
All right. Now let's get to Unza Pacers. All right. You won the championship, you won the league, a promotion, and everything else. Now you're going into the Super League. Now tell me, congratulations first of all for winning the championship and winning the league.
Thank you.
Now you are going into the Super League the coming season. What does it really mean to you and the team itself?
I personally feel to say Unza Pacers is where they belong. Number one. Number two, we seem to have something actually good that a lot of teams can actually tap from.
Emulate.
Yes, they can emulate a lot from even the way the energy levels, the defenses, and us going into the main league.
Game attitude as well.
It would be really great for us. And give us 5 years, we'll be back in BAO. That's what we're looking for. For us, it's a long-term plan. So the main one is for us to stay in the main league. Yes, it's to stay in the main league, not to get demoted again.
Sure.
So I think first port of call will be looking for size so that we can also match all the other bigger teams. Because yes, they've got size, and we're also looking for a center, especially in the center position. In fact, for both the teams, the ladies and the guys. That's why you've seen now is Unza, we are giving scholarships to players, and it's something that we're looking forward to fill that void, then we'll be good to go.
Great. Now let's talk about the championship itself. At what point did you think was Unza's turning point in the championship run?
Being able to come from behind and leading. I think the quarterfinal game, yes, the quarterfinal was the one which was tough because also the school had closed. I never had enough time to train with the guys. Then guys were coming from home, So it was a totally different case scenario from what we were used to.
Great.
Training in campus and be able to have a full team throughout. I think when we started quarterfinals, we were only 8 of us.
Wow.
And that's how we started. But
Out of?
Number 8, like 8 players.
8 players.
Only playing in the quarterfinal. Yeah, but as we started going further, yes, we started getting the sourced accommodation. Then we had to bring in most of our guys to come back. And yeah, from there, we were looking good.
Let's talk about the whole lot of the season. Which game tested you the most?
The Buffalo game.
And why?
One, it was a tough shooting day. And yeah, it seemed it was more of everything was going nicely for Green Buffaloes on that particular day. Yeah, we were second best on that particular day. On everything, we were second best.
Great.
So I knew to say, this one is going to be really a long day.
All right, Coach, now looking at just how you've been promoted to the Super League, what areas do you think the team should improve on to make sure that you bring competition to the Super League?
I honestly feel like, yeah, like I've said before, the position 5, and I think our shooting, especially shooting from outside, yeah, should really improve. Wow. If we improve in that aspect, we'll be able to stretch teams, and then we enjoy our driving game.
True. All right. Now, let us come to your coaching philosophy, eh? How would you describe your coaching philosophy?
Player development. Me, I actually think if a player is well developed, yeah, it becomes a game of chess. You can use a player anyway at any given time. So
you can give them any instruction, they'll understand.
They will understand. It's actually important. Like when I used to have Munadi Sons, or most of the players that came there were post players from other teams, but I managed to change them positions until they could play point guard, shooting guards. Then, yeah, it allows you a lot of options when you're coaching.
What values do you demand from your players every day?
Discipline, both discipline, technical, and just discipline outside.
So now, in your philosophy, let's talk about just how you get to manage different personalities.
That one is a difficult one, but my understanding is when you're dealing with players, you need to understand to say they are totally different in the way they receive information, or even the way they react to information. So there are some, when you shout at them, they will black out. You even know to say, no, this one won't even manage. So it's something that I think which is unique in my coaching. It's something that I've actually been able to understand to say, okay, there are certain players that you approach with caution. Then there are certain players that when you shout at them, they actually know. Yeah, they actually know what the coach wants. So it's something that I've managed to strike a balance in there. I understand players from the court, and I understand players outside the court. And so being a parent to them also is actually helped.
All right, you're still watching Inside Zed Basketball right here on Zambia Basketball Showcase. All right, now still talking to Martin Chena, aka Sekuru. You went to the Cooksa Games, and it was highly successful for you because with the ladies you came up with gold, but then the men came up with silver, which wasn't a problem because you did very well, extra well, and all that. So now you also when leading the ladies to gold, how special was that achievement?
It was really special. The last time they'd gone 2 years ago, they ended up with a silver. So we retained most of them from the last Cooksa. So this time they really wanted it more. Like during practice in the morning, buses were supposed to come and pick us up at 8 and 8:30, but for us, training was starting at 7. So I would make sure they run from Levy all the way to Nasdaq. So they...
Because you're camping at Levy.
Yeah, we are camping at Levy. They ended up enjoying it. And it actually helped us when we started playing the game because we could pressure teams from minute 1 even all the way up to the end. And we actually managed because even the South Africa team had an excellent passing game and stuff. So we just made sure we disrupt everything, the passing, and we forced them to dribble the ball more, which wasn't their game plan. So that's how we achieved that.
Let's talk about lessons from the Cooks games. What lessons did you draw from the tournament itself?
It's important to pick the cream de la cream. It's also important for universities to scout and bring in students like the scholarship program I was talking about. We need such in all the universities. Then they have also to invest in quality coaches. You will find, like for me, the Cooks from the last Cooks, I think 3 players from the ladies side, they got scholarships to Cyprus. So it's something that I think if done really well, we'll be able to send more kids to play in Europe just through Cooks games. So we need to take them really serious.
Great. All right, with the Cooks, we've seen such important lessons and all that. But now, how important is university basketball feeding into the national team or development of national team players for the future?
It is important because this is where we've got most of the players coming from. During university, those ones are the players who are actually closer more to the national team and the main leagues. So the only thing that I have cited which needs a lot of attention is taking basketball to grassroots. Us having primary schools, having games, leagues, in fact, leagues. Then they have more tournaments. If we can build a chain of development, it's going to be much more easier from juniors then to high schools. We are also having tournaments in the leagues that we used to enjoy way back. And now you will find colleges will be much more easier because we are getting quality. So if the primary schools and the high schools are going to do all the work, I guarantee you it will also be easier to feed in players from these YBLs and all the other junior programs. It will be much more easier to actually get them to university level. And especially, like, I need to mention this, guys, get your grades high. So that when they're picking you to university, it's easy.
It's easy, it's not compromised.
It's not compromised. So we need something like that.
Great.
So if we've got a chain, you will see it will be easier to feed to the main national team.
Great.
Because we've got laid down ground, which is good.
Great. Inside Zed Basketball is what you're watching right here on Zambia Basketball Showcase. And now still talking to Martin Mchena. So now Martin Mchena has made sure that Unza Pacers have been promoted to the Super League, back again in the Super League for the next coming season. Martin Mchena made sure that when he came to the Cooks games, the boys went all the way and came out with silver, but the ladies came out with gold. And this time around, there's no doubt that he is indeed deserving to be on the national technical team for Zimbabwe national team. Congratulations, by the way, for that again.
Thank you, Mr.
All right, now let's talk about you being appointed as first assistant coach for the Zimbabwe senior national team. How did this opportunity come about?
It's been because of the happenings I think over the past years, and especially this past season, I think, like I've said, God did this year.
Sure.
Yeah, the last season and this year, it has been really good for me.
Great.
So now they are actually, I'm happy because they are going around now looking for their coaches around the world, bringing them back home so that they can share the information and tactics. So it's incredible for me.
Great. So now, being a coach based in Zambia and getting this appointment, what really does it mean to you personally?
For me, this is the highest point. This is the highest point of my coaching career, and I'm really glad that I've been called. And there is a lot that I can actually share.
Sure.
Yeah, to the national team. I've had the experiences because I've also played. I've been to Bao, the first Bao with Unza Pacers.
Sure.
And I've also represented Zambia with Shells when it was still club championships. So yeah, there is vast experience, you will see.
So what does this, what message does this send to other Zambian coaches internationally?
You don't have to stop what you're doing. And I think, like I had said, for me, I don't put winning first. I put development first.
Great.
So once you have got everything in place, it's actually much more easier to coach. Because now you can actually just pick and choose what you can actually apply.
Pick and choose, eh? So what roles are we looking at with the Zimbabwe national team? What roles will you specifically have there?
Number one, I think I can bring serious discipline in there.
Great.
And defense, that one you are guaranteed. Defense.
I know. I can only imagine the way the boys played this season, and you can tell when you talk about defense. Let's talk about how different coaching is when it comes to national team and club level.
When you're talking about national team now, this is we are picking the cream in all departments. So there's no time to start teaching basic fundamentals. So that's the difference. Now we are picking people who can actually function.
When they come to the national team, then you teach them left
then
layup.
You start, you're teaching left layup. No. This time around,
that's for IBL.
Yeah. Now it's tactical. You're picking the best, so now you need to know how to just move them in their correct positions and through effectiveness, whatever they will do, which is effective, that's what you're looking at.
Great. Inside Zed Basketball with me, Kasuli, and of course, our guest being Martin Mchena. And now let's talk about basketball in Zambia. From your perspective, what is the biggest challenge facing Zambian basketball today?
Administration. Without a doubt, it's administration.
Can you break it down? Administration?
It's like from my understanding, I think we need to start developing from the lower to grassroots. If there is proper foundation of administration from down there, it will be important. I'll go more also on a technical note. We can't be having trainee coaches being the ones who are actually forefront coaching.
Great.
Why don't we get senior coaches also going down to coach at that level? What you to do is, if I am going to start picking, let's say, kids at the age of 14, these should be well-developed players. They should be well-developed players. At 16, no doubt, we are actually supposed to be picking a 16-year-old to qualify in a national team. If done the proper way, not when players reach the leagues, then the league coaches are the ones who are actually going back to teach basic fundamentals, which we are supposed to have taught 8 years back.
With that said, Coach, do you believe Zambia has the talent to compete consistently with Africa's finest?
Yes, Zambia has.
Okay.
Zambia has. Like I am saying, in administration, if we are going to compete more, even in this regional, I will take a leaf from what Malawi is doing.
Sure.
Even if it's a club tournament, they are actually able to attend all the tournaments around Africa. They are going everywhere. No wonder why their basketball is improving. Especially Griffin has done a lot for them, and it's very important in that aspect. So we are looking forward also if we could be going for same tournaments. Let's say you build your under 16, they should be able to travel to Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is actually close. Malawi is close. We should be attending all their invitational tournaments, and we strengthen our teams before they go for the actual tournaments. I think there we actually need also to have sponsors coming in and helping in that fact, so that by the time we reach all these championships, we are set and we are ready to play. Because now we have been able to see how kids can operate at what stage of an international.
Now let's get into your leadership and growth. Who has influenced your coaching?
I've got a couple of coaches that have actually done it for me. Like the first time when I picked the basketball, it was through a coach, Coach William Chumcheri.
All right.
When it goes to tactics and even coaching approach, like most of my philosophy comes from none other than Roderick Baba Mandi Takawira. A master tactician. So he has done a lot. And I've also picked the leaf from a couple of coaches in Zambia, like Coach Katbet. He, for me, is a true manager of the game. He knows how to balance the game. He knows when to throw in certain players. And he's a kind of a coach who will pick a player from the end of the bench and you give him his short time to do whatever he wants at that particular time. The moment he gets what he wants, he can quickly sub him and bring in guys who can actually control the game. So there's a lot that I've learned, even from other international coaches. Development-wise, Coach Andile from South Africa, he is actually doing it.
Toughest lesson as a coach?
Toughest lesson? Being able, like, especially coaching women. Coaching emotions.
Yeah, coaching emotions.
Coaching emotions. Yeah, it's really tough.
Great.
Yeah, you need to know when to end and how to deal with them. So,
true.
Yeah.
All right, so how do you continue improving yourself as a coach?
I'm a student of the game. I don't sleep. Even my players always ask to say, Coach, we've got a game at 10. What time are you going to sleep? No. I'm still working on something. Until when I get it done, then
until I break it down.
I'm good to go.
All right, let's get to have fun before I let you go. All right? So now, these are quick fire questions. All right? Championship or gold?
Gold.
Defense or offense?
Defense.
Toughest opponent this season?
Green Buffaloes B.
One Unza player everyone should watch in the Super League?
That's a tough one. Chimunya.
That point get.
Chimunya.
One Zambian coach you admire?
I'll go with Katbet.
One word to describe Unza Pacers?
Audacity boys.
If you could coach any team in Africa, who would it be?
That's a tough one. I'll still pick Wounds.
Great.
I have to take them to Bao.
Dream coaching destination?
Zambia.
All right, in closing, I would love to just hear from you, Coach. What's next for Martin Mchena? Sekuru.
Yeah, the same international games coming up. I am also looking forward to get what we call a top 100. That's my my ambition. I really want to have 100 kids coming out of these ends, going to play either in Europe or in America. That's what I'm looking forward to. So
Great.
Development never stops.
What message do you have for Unza Pesa's fans as the team prepares for the Super League?
Always trust us. We will deliver.
And what do you call those boys that come to drum?
Unzangoma. Those ones, we want them to be there each and every day. They make my life easier when I'm coaching.
All right, coach. Finally, what advice would you give to young coaches and aspiring basketball players across Zambia?
Be a student of the game. Whenever you start thinking you know it all, then learning stops.
Sure.
So keep on looking forward to learning each and every day.
Great. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Great. That was lovely hosting Coach Martin Muchena here on Inside Zed Basketball. All right. And of course, my name is Kasuli. Stick around. We still have more for you. Alrighty, Inside Zed Basketball continues right here on Zambia Basketball Showcase. Remember, powered by BMTV and of course, Skyline Car Dealers. So remember, Inside Zed Basketball, make sure that every other Friday you have an episode that you can look out for. And as we continue, we do have Jabulani Mulenga. All right. So Jabulani Mulenga, for most of you that playing basketball or involved in basketball in Southern Province, you definitely understand to say this one is your man. Let's get into it. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kasuli. How are you doing?
Great.
Thank you.
Finally,
for that.
you are on the show.
I'm on the show. Thank you for that powerful introduction.
All right, so now my introduction cannot be as powerful if you cannot give out what you've done so far and where you've touched and the roles you've played when it comes to Southern Province basketball.
Right. When it comes to Southern basketball, mine is a very simple one.
Sure.
I've been the driver of several initiatives. One being the Livingston Basketball Association, and that's been the longest running league in the Southern Province since, I would say, about 2018.
Sure.
Yes. Whereas other activity may have stalled throughout the province, I drove the efforts to have a league running, and as you can see, it culminated in us participating in the B League Championships.
Great.
This last year. Other notables, of course, are the 2019 3x3 tournament, the Vic Falls tour. And I think that's one of the biggest events related to basketball that the Southern Province has had in a very long time. I also served as regional technical coordinator for the Southern Basketball Association until sometime last year in an interim sort of position.
Correct.
But resigned that role for personal reasons.
All right.
That's about it from me when it comes to Southern basketball. As you know, there's a lot of talent down there, and I've had the chance to interact with a lot of people, push a lot of programs, but in a nutshell, that's me.
All right, so how would you describe Southern basketball?
One word, talent. That's how I describe Southern basketball.
In the current state?
Well, in the current state, I would say untapped talent. Maybe that's two words. So the current state of Southern basketball is one that I would describe as in limbo. There are people ready to play the game, but not accorded the chance, so to speak. It is quite a vast province. The distances are not really nearby. Say the distance from Livingston to Kazungula is about 70 Ks, Livingston to Zimba another 70. Then the central areas, of course, Choma, Monze, Kalomo.
Sure.
Yeah, also quite a distance apart. I would say with all that talent, all that remains is to bring everyone together, bring them
yes.
to one table so we can chart the way forward. And in all honesty, it's just been that small push that the province has needed.
So aside from the challenge when it comes to distance and all that, what other challenges would you say are really being faced when it comes to Southern basketball?
Naturally, the biggest challenge is the administration of the game itself. Yes, you know me, I've been very vocal on administration of basketball in the province.
Sure.
But I think the onus is really...
On a national level as well.
On a national level, of course. But I do believe the onus really is on us, the stakeholders now.
Okay.
You know, you can only speak so much on the administrative side of things. But in your own capacity, what are you doing for basketball?
What are you doing for basketball, yes.
Let me take you back to the Livingstone Basketball Association. This, of course, is... a league that was not recognized by the federation for quite some time, but it speaks volumes that that was the only league that was running in the province for the last 4 years.
True.
Right? So the Southern Basketball Association now is, like I said, in a state of limbo, but we have several heroes. I would like to call them heroes in Choma, in Macha, in Kalomo, and these are household names to most basketballers. Lukunka Tembo, Zelu Tembo, Kumbo Ziambo, Akim Mungo. These are people who are pushing for the return of basketball in the province. And very soon you will be able to see the South really positioning itself as a premier location for talent in the country once more.
All right. So now let's talk about the plans that you have to grow basketball in the South.
Yeah, a lot of the people in the South like to call me the politician, all right, amongst other names. I'm affectionately known as Coach JB, or just JB to those who are my peers. But in terms of plans for the province, you know, my dream is to see high school basketball make a huge comeback.
Right.
Because that is the future of basketball.
Right.
The youth basketball system is non-existent in my province, and that is something I would like to really, really push and bring back, because if you start your basketball at the grassroots, you know, even as a coach, you have very little to do when you get to the bigger levels, because everyone has the fundamentals, everyone has the background, no one gets stage fright. You know, those are things that should be inculcated into players from a young age. So what is within reach, really? The high schools. They already have a platform.
How do you intend to actually get to succeed in that area?
It's very simple, really. I do plan to run for the position of chairperson of the Southern Basketball Association.
Great.
In the upcoming elections. And good luck to whoever is going to go against me, because I do think I've done my due diligence. And it's time to step up. You know, it's been too much of a background role, so to speak. So I think taking charge and just sharing my vision with those around me will go a long way.
Great. All right, so we do understand that the league is currently running in Southern Province.
That's right.
And just want to know what you can tell us about the league itself and its objectives.
The main objective of the Livingstone Basketball Association League was to showcase Southern talent.
True.
Yes. It started out as a very small league. I think we had only 5 teams. And quite recently, we upgraded that to a total of about 9 teams. So that's Livingstone alone. Imagine the leaps and bounds we could achieve with the entirety of the province. So we co-opted teams from Kazungula, teams from Victoria Falls. This is across the border.
Yes.
We had a team from Zimbabwe coming to play in our league because it seemingly was a bit more attractive than the league across the border. But that just goes to show the amount of pool we have as a league. Teams from as far as Zimba, Kalomo would play consistently in Livingston.
True.
Yes. And the goals of the league were, like I said, bring everyone together, have everyone have a platform to showcase their talent, and eventually grow into not only, I would say, a league that's competing at the national level, but internationally as well.
Who organizes the league in Southern?
So the Southern Basketball League is supposed to be run by the SBA.
Okay.
However, the Livingston League, like I said, was founded by myself with a few other like-minded coaches. Yeah. Notable names, of course, are Gertrude Zimba, who's done a lot for youth and women in terms of basketball in Livingston. Not only that, but extending as far as all the towns in the Southern Province, I should say. And you may know her from her travels to the United States.
Sure.
She was part of the exchange program that went to the US. I would like to mention of course, the current chairperson has done quite a lot for basketball in the South as well. And that's Nchimunya Mwanga. So a few names you can't really ignore.
All right.
Yeah, that's true.
Great. Is the league officially affiliated to the Zambia Basketball Federation? And if so, what does that affiliation mean in practice?
Let me answer that with a bit of a backstory.
Great.
Yeah. The league initially was not affiliated to the Zambia Basketball Federation. And let me just say 2 years ago, the biggest push came from myself, of course, and a few other individuals. I wrote a strongly worded letter to the Federation to talk about the lapses in governance in the South. In addition to that, we were seeking means of being co-opted into the Federation as a league on our own. That faced numerous challenges. And in the end, we opted to fly under the banner of the Southern Basketball Association because the Federation only recognizes provincial basketball associations, not Livingston Basketball Association. So in our region, what would be recognized would be the SBA. So we flew under the flag of the SBA as of this last season, and coming into the next season, of course, it's election period. So we are certainly hoping that as we go along and some changes come into play, of course, I'm hoping I can be the person to champion that change. We bring back the SBA and make that change at a provincial level as well as a national level.
And how are clubs and players registered, and are they recognized by Zambia Basketball Federation?
That is one very, very key question. As far as it stands, the teams that flew the flag of the SPA are recognized by the Federation.
Okay.
Newer teams, especially those that have been taking part in Livingston basketball, not necessarily officially recognized. So that should tell you the type of hill we have to climb in terms of being recognized by ZBF.
So does that mean it's you, that side, that have to do the job to be recognized, or you waiting for a step by ZBF to be recognized?
It all boils down to, for me, this upcoming election, because these are, like I say, these administrative lapses. These are things that should have been looked at a while back.
Sure.
But, the only way to look is forward, really.
Great.
And the ZBF has provided a platform for registration of teams, players, leagues even. And one of the things that we can take advantage of is within a provincial association, a league can be registered.
All right.
So Livingston Basketball League can be recognized as a running league under Southern Basketball.
Great.
It's a very, very simple step to take, and one we should have taken a long time ago. But yeah, like I say, looking forward.
Great.
Yeah.
Indeed, looking forward. You are still watching Inside Zed Basketball. My name is Kasuli, and of course, with me, I do have Jabu Mulenga, all the way from Livingstone, and just telling us more just about the league and, of course, the organization in the Southern Province. But now let's get to talk about the Constitution, because you standing for on the chairperson position in the Southern, and from what you've told us so far, I'm sure you know where you stand and you know what you can do for basketball to be fed into the national grid and going all the way forward. And now, somebody who's standing, they really have to know the nitty-gritties when it comes to the Constitution. So, of course, many people hear about the ZBF Constitution but haven't actually read it, all right? So, in simple terms, what is the purpose of the ZBF Constitution?
In very simple terms, the Constitution is meant to govern all our affairs. Everything from the day-to-day running, the running of the leagues, to the most important one, the elections. Yeah. So the Constitution itself borders on things like, let's say, conflicts of interest.
Sure.
Right. Let's talk about how we treat the opposite gender. Let's talk about development of the game itself. Let's talk about administration. And all in all, I do feel like it has fallen short in some areas. All right. And it does the basics of being a constitution.
All right.
But reforms are necessary.
Great.
Reforms are necessary. Let's talk about the past electoral college. I think there were serious oversights there. Not to be extremely political on this one, but one could go as far as saying it's a bit unfair to have incumbents, having all the voting rights, and then challengers having no voting rights at all.
Okay.
So it's like going into an election with your opponent already one up.
Great.
All right. Forgive me for being so candid. Yeah.
No, that's just you being honest.
Right. As far as things like governance, I would like to talk very much on the issue of finances, because most people appreciate not being sort of lied to. And I do believe there were some discrepancies in how the finances were reported. A layman like myself could tell that some of the numbers didn't really tally, but I think we can leave that to the experts to debate.
You're talking about experts, did you at any point, because you had the privilege of looking at the reports, the financial reports itself, did you at any point give it to somebody who to say they are a qualified accountant to take a look at it?
100%. I will tell you 100%, because that's one thing I do. Whenever I don't really understand something, I will take it to someone who knows. And having looked at those figures, I think questions must be asked of who did the auditing and whether the numbers tally, because in all honesty, the report does not make a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yeah, the financial report is lacking in some areas, and all in all, I think 1 + 1 is not giving us 2. Yeah.
All right. According to the Constitution, what responsibilities do provincial associations have?
According to the constitutions, provincial associations are what you would call semi-autonomous.
Okay.
You can elect your own leaders, and you're responsible for running your own leagues as well as developing basketball in your region. So take, for example, Southern Basketball Association should, of course, be responsible for high school basketball, the main basketball league, and any other youth leagues, as well as training players by holding coaching clinics, advancing the knowledge of the sport. Referee clinics can also be pushed for by the provincial association. So in general, I think it's a very, very wide net to cast, but with the right people in the association,
Yes.
it's not a mammoth task.
Correct.
Yes, as long as everyone is pulling together in the same direction, the Constitution makes light work of your responsibilities.
So why is it important for administrators, clubs, players, coaches to understand the Constitution itself?
It is very, very important because that's where the power comes from. Right? And you need to know that the Constitution allows for about 8 positions. Some appointed, some elected. Of course, the major elected position is the chairperson position. But a constitution is a set of governing rules. You know, it will keep you in check. It will allow you to exercise your powers without stepping on people's toes, for example. And it also very importantly requires stakeholder engagement. Being a position holder means first and foremost, you're speaking for people, not for yourself.
True.
Yeah. So I think in my particular case, I'm not looking to get into this position to trample on anyone or take advantage of anyone, let alone enrich myself. Yeah. But with the Constitution, of course, you have the power to enforce certain policies, policies that can either be good or detrimental for your stakeholders. And of course, we're only looking at the good.
All right. So you mentioned about the voting when it comes to the Constitution. But do you think, in your own opinion, there are other areas of the Constitution that need to be reviewed, updated to better save basketball today?
You know, I've already spoken on the voting part of the Constitution, but I would like to see the Constitution speak a lot more on how the provincial basketball associations run and how basically empowering the provincial basketball associations a lot more. Yeah. Right now, I think we are very top heavy. By that, I mean, we're a lot more centralized than we should be.
Okay.
So a single, and this comes back to the voting pattern, a single vote from the province does not really speak volumes at national level.
Okay.
Right? So this Constitution should put the stakeholder first. Who's the stakeholder? The basketball player.
Sure.
Right? The fan, the person who comes to watch, the young person at home who's watching you on Basketball Showcase and trying to be like Kasuli or trying to be like Coach JB. So as far as reforms go, yes, we've touched on the elections, but I do believe we should have, first of all, maybe, just maybe, have the Secretary General position elected as well instead of appointed. Yes. Let's speak to reporting, right? I personally feel like when these reports are given to us by the Federation, they should be given on a much more regular basis.
Right.
Instead of waiting until a year has elapsed for an AGM. I do believe these should be maybe even biannually. You should have them maybe twice a year.
Great.
All right. Yeah. That's one thing I would change. And of course, they should be public. You know, accounts should be made public, expenditure should be made public, and yeah, that's it from me.
Great. And of course, it is still Inside Zed Basketball. And right now, as we are still with Jabulani Mulenga, we get to the governance part of how everything is done. All right. So how should provincial associations and the National Federation work together to grow basketball?
Quite simply put, equal share of the cake.
All right.
Right. Quite recently, there was a supposed donation of basketballs by the Zambia Basketball Federation to several regions or provinces. But I do believe these are things that the Federation is mandated to do. Right. So if we look at the basketballs that were donated by FIBA and given to the Federation and then repackaged as donations by the Federation to associations, I do think that is a bit more of a campaign gimmick, so to speak. Another thing I'd like to touch on is when it comes to sharing the cake, that recent donation of the shot clock to the Eastern Basketball Association. Yeah. Well, it was framed as a recognition of their efforts, but I do not believe that should be a reward for a team, for a region performing well, because these are basic necessities for every single association countrywide.
Sure.
So I'm from Southern Basketball Association. Do I want a shot clock? Yes, I do. Do my players want a shot clock? Yes, they do.
Sure.
And that's just the basic administration of the game. I think we should also, from a governance perspective, look at infrastructure development across the country, across the nation, because this also speaks to talent identification, right? If I have good players who are playing the game minus a shot clock, minus a roof over their heads, so they can't play when it's raining, I think that sort of disadvantages them in terms of being selected for national opportunities. Despite them having a high ceiling for talent, they may not be able to showcase themselves well enough because, like I mentioned earlier, sometimes stage fright is an issue, you know. Basketball awareness is taught by, you know, knowing the rules of the game. Having a shot clock is very important. And that's why I've sort of stuck on that example.
Does the Constitution provide guidance when it comes to disagreement between the National Federation and the provincial associations?
No, it does not. And I will speak from personal experience. I wish we could beam a strongly worded letter I wrote to the Federation a few years ago on,
we'll definitely do
on disputes. Yeah. But see, my association for the longest time did not seem to have any good standing with ZBF.
Okay.
Yes. And in that particular space, we did not have a league running for about 3 years. Yes. And 3 years without a league is basically renders your association non-existent.
Yeah, it does.
Because no reports are being filed and activity comes to a halt. So in that particular case, the way this was handled was done very poorly.
Sure.
In that we were supposed to have a visit from the Federation. The Secretary General was supposed to come to the South and resolve our issues. But that did not happen. And we moved on.
Were you given any reasons as to why it did not happen?
No reasons were given, unfortunately.
All right.
And I think that's another thing we need to look at, just grievances and how they are handled at that level. Definitely something that needs to be reconstituted.
Great. So what message would you give to clubs that want to establish leagues or associations and still remain compliant to Zambia Basketball Federation?
I would say go ahead. And there is nothing wrong with affiliating to the Federation.
Okay.
What I would advise, though, is do everything within your own space. Because the toughest failure is not the failure of someone else, but a failure on your own.
On your own, yes.
Exactly. That's
what
the
you
one
can
that
control.
Exactly. Whatever is within your control should be within your control.
Great.
Allowing external factors to affect how you work and how you do things is just going to keep bringing you down. So my advice to any clubs that are coming up, take a leaf from Livingston Basketball. And if someone else doesn't want to do it, step up and do it.
All right.
That's it.
So now, as we look ahead and finalize right here, you are standing on the chairperson position and all that.
Right.
So what are your goals for Southern Province Basketball over the next 12 months?
Over the next 12 months is a very, very simple mission for me.
Sure.
Number one is get the provincial league back up and running.
All right.
Full time. All right. I had detailed a plan not too long ago, about 2 years ago, on how we could tackle the distances. right?
Okay.
So the main idea is to split the region into 2 conferences.
Okay.
All right. So we have one conference which is closer to the Zambezi, and another conference closer to the Kafue.
Okay.
Right? So you have your Zambezi conference and your Kafue conference.
So for somebody who's not really understanding the issue of river conference and all that,
Right.
Maybe they want to hear you mention districts. So you're saying Mazabuka.
Right. It's quite simple. Zimba, Livingston, Victoria Falls, Kazungula,
Zambezi. All right.
Kalomo, Choma, Monze, Pemba, Macha, what's on this other side?
There's Mazabuka.
Yes, Mazabuka as well. Another conference.
Okay.
Yes. And to curtail the issue of distances, we could start with a specific day per month when teams meet, fulfill fixtures,
Okay.
and prepare for the next month. Of course, that cuts out the transportation issue, because unlike rich regions like the Midlands, where you have one central location and teams can easily travel, the distances in the south are a bit far apart.
Okay.
Teams are not sponsored. Yes. And people have to cover great distances to attend games and then go back. So we can't have games on a weekly basis.
All right.
It's different from, say, Livingston, because we have 9 teams in Livingston.
So you're sure you being voted in, we're going to see that?
100%.
Okay.
100%. And the other thing, apart from just the leagues, is I do see myself pushing very strongly for a high school league.
Okay.
Following a very similar format.
All right.
I believe we can work closely together with the schools in the districts, and the teams are there. I've seen the talent. I think at the southern level, in terms of 3x3 at the National Youth Games, we performed very well, especially on the women's side. Yeah, on the girls' side, we had a very strong team, and these are the players that should come into the women's league going forward.
Great.
But like I mentioned, we have Gertrude Zimba in the south, who is a very strong voice for women's sport.
Great.
She's a qualified referee. And this is someone I would like to work very closely with to bring women's basketball and youth basketball back to the fore in Southern Province.
All right. And just in case, because maybe I didn't touch any of your visions when you get into office, as you're going to have elections. If we didn't touch on any of your visions, what else would you add upon to make sure that your people see to say, this is what I'm bringing when I get into office?
First of all, I'm bringing transparency.
All right.
I know for a fact we're not dealing with naive people. We're not dealing with children. Everyone wants to be respected.
Sure.
So my promise to the people of the South is basically you will have transparent leadership. If something is happening, you should know about it.
Right.
If we are going to make a decision, you should be consulted. Right. My other vision for the South, of course, is sponsorship. Right. I do believe basketball as a sport is very marketable. And from Livingston Basketball Association, you'll see something I've done similar to Inside Basketball.
All right.
That is, I co-opted a very talented young man, Karistos Indoe, who is now managing streaming for Livingston Basketball.
Great. So I've seen the streaming is really good for Livingston Basketball.
So we try to stream every single game. We have recently tried to get in some commentary as well.
All right.
And yeah, we recently got a tripod, so we don't have someone walking around with a camera. And yeah.
And talking in front of the camera.
Exactly. So I think the only way is up, really. We need to embrace new generation ideas.
Correct.
You know, sorry for the term, but the Gen Zs are really comfortable with technology now.
Yeah, they are.
And I saw a young man who could create a website in 10 minutes with a back end. And I figured all I need to do is buy hosting, and this can go live in minutes. True. So another thing I'd like to push for is visibility on the World Wide Web.
Great.
We should have our streaming our broadcasts live on Facebook, YouTube, spots on Instagram. I would like also every single team to be registered, not only with the federation, but as a legal entity.
Okay.
I researched how clubs can work, and it's very simple. Go to PACRA, form up your structure, register as a non-profit, and most people would jump on the opportunity to give you sponsorship.
Great.
Yes. So those are the minor steps that we can take to make Southern basketball great again.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and wishing you all the best as you really want to make Southern basketball great.
Thank you so much, Kasuli.
Great. There you have it, and this has come now to the end of the show. Inside Zed Basketball, right here on Zambia Basketball Showcase. And remember, we are powered by BMTV, and of course, not forgetting Skyline Car Dealers. My name is Kasuli. Till next time, bye-bye.
Welcome to Inside Zed Basketball Show, where Zambia's game takes center court. From the biggest highlights to the locker room talk, we bring the heat, we bring the heart. This is the home of Zambia.